Hello, I'm here to talk to you about the books that I read in January. There are 9 of them. The first book that I read was The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, and I gave this book 4 stars. It is about a lady who is a librarian, and she has an enchanted plant who kind of chose her. His name is Kaz, and he is like the comic relief, the buffer with all the tension going on. The library catches on fire, and then her and the plant and a bunch of spell books escape to an island to live in a cabin that her parents used to have when she was younger. I do assume that her parents are gone at this point, that they don't mention them being around. So she goes to live in this cabin. There is a spicy neighbor that lives next door that has a merhorse sanctuary / farm kind of thing. And so if you're into horses, these ones swim. It's kind of cute. She is pretty bristly towards him. She's like, I don't need no man. And as time goes on, she's like, maybe I need a man. Maybe I like that man. You know, that's how it goes. So if you're into fantasy, romantasy, those kinds of things, and you like horses or swimming merhorses, it's a cute story. I liked it because of the talking plant. So I gave it 4 stars. And I'm looking forward to reading her next book, The Enchanted Greenhouse. That is not out yet, but here is the release date. And that is by Sarah Beth Durst. The Spell Shop was our first read. Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio. This one I gave 2 stars. It starts off with really awesome vibes in the beginning. We're all smoking cigarettes in a graveyard at a science center at a university, because that's the only place you're allowed to smoke, because you have to smoke outside, far away from the buildings. And all of a sudden a big grave shows up and you're like, this isn't an active graveyard. Why is there a grave? And then it turns into like a comic book all of a sudden. Like, I wasn't expecting what happened to happen. And it's a very short story, so very quickly to read and make your own assumption. But it does seem to be a very popular opinion that there wasn't enough going on with the plot. It doesn't seem to be just me saying that after reading other people's reviews. So I give that 2 stars. I probably would look elsewhere unless you just want those like vibes for the first third of the story. Those are cool vibes. But after that, you make your decision. The third is The Librarian of Crooked Lane. This is a series. It is by C.J. Archer. I gave this book 3 stars. It is really awesome. I do enjoy. There's a maid that becomes a librarian. There's a whole bunch going on with artists and painting and different elements that they can do things with, whether they can paint or not, whether paintings are magical or not. There's a mystery about, is somebody finding out that painters are magical before they know, and then doing something to the painters to get the artifacts to hold on to and make money. There's a whole bunch of stipulations. It's a big mystery, big mess. It is a lot of fun. I did feel kind of just like I was being told a story more than I was being part of the story. And I do love being part of the story. So I gave it 3 stars. I just wanted more world building, more character building. I do understand it's a series and there are more to it. I may come back around later on and listen to the story or read it again and see if it hits different and if I want to continue. But as of right now, I won't be continuing the series, and I gave the first book 3 stars. Next up is a dark romance, kind of similar to Lights Out. This one is Butcher and Blackbird, and it is pretty dark. This one's by Bryn Weaver. It is kind of like 2 very rough people getting together. The man is a chef. The girl, she does her own little mobster things. And it's cute because they open a restaurant called Blackbird and Butcher and Blackbird, like the name of the book, right? They open a restaurant like that. It's super cute. But it's just I cannot stomach some of the unaliving that happens and the things that have to be done in order to take care of the unaliving, the cleanup, and everybody has a cousin Vinny that they can call to take care of things. I have a cousin Tim. I don't think he'd take care of anything like that unless I hit a deer. I think I'm out of luck. So I just, whoa. And the fact that I had to skip over some of the parts because it made my stomach turn, I gave it 4 stars. It was a beautiful romance. If you take out the gore, probably would have got 5. It was too gory for me. The next one in the series is Leather and Lark. I don't think I'll be rushing to read it. Maybe give me 4 or 5 months. I might pick it up and read it, but I just need to calm down on the gore. There's been one every month so far since December, so let's chill. The next one is Sugar Cookies and Sirens, and this one is by Danielle Garrett. I have listened to 3 of these audiobooks by the author. She has a series going on. It is a fantasy world. There's 3 sisters. There's a bakery. And each time something happens, a mystery of some kind, it always has a cute like innocent ending. Like nobody's being unalived so far. It's just like things go missing, things are stolen, or something happens to somebody. But so far they've been pretty clean and family friendly. I gave them 3 stars. What's going on with the author? I have a love-hate relationship with these books. In 1 month, I've created one of these. So I love that they're quick. I love that they're funny. I love that they're humorous, and I love the cute, sweet little endings. What I don't like is that I'm learning about these characters a little by little by little. Like, I don't get to just be like, this is her sister, and they don't give you a rundown. Like, the last book, we did this and this and this. No, she doesn't. She's like, somebody will be having a conversation and be like, what's your magical power? And it'll just slip up. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. And then the endings are so, like, fun. Because how would you know there was a baby siren out there? How would you know that there was a baby siren that could like make people do stuff? I didn't know that baby sirens could do that because we don't have baby sirens. And I wasn't set up for that because I didn't know this world had baby sirens. So I'm enjoying it, but I wish I had a little bit. I like to figure things out before they happen. And I'm not being given the chance. And I'm loving it and hating it. 3 stars. The next book is A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and this one I was really expecting to love. I gave this one 2 stars. I was hoping to. This one's by Bridget Kemmerer. It's supposed to be a retelling. It is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. However, like, he is very beastie, like to the point where he says, there's a quote in the book, like, why would I feed some of them if I can't feed all of them? Like, why would you, what do you mean? Because they're hungry. You do what you can, you don't do nothing. And I don't know, like, after I get the ick for a character, it's hard for me to, like, turn it around and be like, I forgive you. Like, I hold grudges. I remember. I am building a fake fabrication of your character in my head from the beginning of the end of the story. And I just can't get past that and the things that he says. Like, I can't be like, oh yeah, I trust you. If I get dementia someday, I trust you to take care of me. And if I have a baby and die, I trust you to take care of that baby. I trust your judgment. I don't. And she shouldn't either. So 2 stars. I didn't like it. Next was Grimoires and Gingerbreads, and this one was also by Danielle Garrett. It's another one of the cotton candy mysteries where you're just like, that was cute, but it's gone. So 3 stars. This one was another cute mystery. The sisters are back in the bakery. It's a Christmas time mystery. I'm not going to ruin it for you. They are still short. When I say short, I mean like they're like an hour or 2 on Audible. So I don't want to ruin it for you. I do recommend listening to them, but just know that there's not going to be a lot of, it's going to be a quick, sweet little thing. Like, this isn't a long-term kind of relationship. You're going to dip your toe in and get out kind of situation. That's what these books are. They're cute, and they leave little fond memories, but you'll be posting on it about Facebook. It's too short. So the next one is The Bookshop, A History of the American Bookstore. And this one's by Evan Friss. This one I gave 4 stars to. I loved learning about bookstore communities, like how the community really shapes what books are in stock, what events happen at the bookstores, what kind of authors come in. Like, they really do base it, small bookstores base on what their customers want and what they order. Of course they would, but you can see it in a much smaller scale. Unlike Barnes and Nobles or Target, they get like the mainstream books off TikTok or what's top of the charts. But when you go into like a local family-owned, small-owned business bookstore, you get to really see the character of the community that buys from the bookstore. And I've seen that to be true here in town. We actually have a small bookstore, and it is fun to go in and look and see what other people are buying and liking. And it's fun to see, like, when you request a book that's not in stock, and then you come in a couple weeks later and you're like, she has that book on the shelf because I ordered it. Like, it's dumb, but it's true. And I liked it. And then Friss, a beautiful job on the history of bookshops. I did need a little bit more of a buffer of a breakup of all the history and information. That's why I get 4 stars. I had to stop and then remind myself to go back. It's not a book that I could sit down and listen to straight through. It's definitely like listen for like an hour or 2 and then listen to something else, give it a break. It's not really a binging kind of book. You'll miss too much information, I feel like. But I probably will be going back and revisiting it another time and listening to parts of it on and off, just because I know that I've probably missed information. It was just a lot real quick, but a beautiful pictation of American bookstores. The last book I read was number 9, Sprinkles and Sea Serpents, also by Danielle Garrett. And this one, again, cute, didn't learn a lot about the characters, didn't learn a lot about the world, but it was a fun mystery, and I enjoyed it. It made me laugh, and at the end I was like, guess what? I ran up to my husband, I was like, guess what? This is how it ends, and I'm not going to tell you, but you should read it, listen to it. I think some of them are, I think they're on Audible Unlimited. So if you have Audible for audiobooks, it's on Unlimited, and you should be able to listen to it. They're pretty fun. And I'm going all out of order, but it doesn't matter if you go out of order with the series. You still understand what's going on. So those are the 9 books that I read for January. My least favorite would be Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio, which I was sad. Like I said, had great vibes in the beginning. I want somebody to take the first third of that book and then chop off the last 2 and 3/3 of it and rewrite me something different, please. Take the first half and make the last half match. The top book for the January of the 2025 would be The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I loved it. I actually remembered the plant's name. His name is Kaz. I didn't have to look that up. I remembered. I bought a plant and named it Kaz. I'll show you once it's not like this tall. But we have our own Kaz now. And so if you follow my houseplant stuff, you'll see Kaz. And I would say following would be Butcher and Blackbird, and The Bookshop are the follow-ups from the Spell Shop. After this, I am going to go ahead and get on posting the month versus month where we roll the dice and I compare like January versus March and then see like which are those 2 books that I like. And then by the end of the year, we should be able to come up with the best of 2025, that one book of the whole year that I loved. So far, it's The Spell Shop. And we'll see what comes up for February. I don't have a book haul for you. I did unhaul over 300 books this month. I just went through, and any books that I wasn't super wanting to read, I rescue a lot of books from like donation piles, or like friends will be like, hey, I don't want these. Do you want to come take these boxes of books? And of course I will. Most of the time I end up taking them and putting them in little free libraries, but a lot of them I keep. And I finally just went through one day and I was like, I'm not going to read this. Honestly, not going to read that. Honestly, I'm not into like the courtroom kind of crime stuff. I don't really like that. So I got rid of a bunch, and they were all donated to little free libraries. And I want to say it was over 300 books. I don't have an exact count. So we have room on the shelves, which means the book buying ban can be slightly lifted. We're not talking about full garage door open. We're talking like, boop, like maybe a little bit here and there, maybe like 1 or 2 a month, but we're going to chill. We're not going to be like boxes. But besides that, that was the wrap up for January, and I will see you guys in February, and we'll have that dice month roll up pretty soon for month versus month for the books. Okay? Thanks for visiting. Bye.